I'm kind of done with UFOs and space aliens. The current normalization of the discussion isn't really helping since the materials being talked about are just the same blurry, pixelated second or third generation copies of something from military observations. These typically don't even use visible light, and so making it even harder for us normies to try and figure out what we're looking at in the first place. Now, as an impressionable youth, I was, well, impressed by Erich von Daniken's Chariot of the Gods book back in the day. It was something I'd never heard or frankly thought about, and it caught my imagination. For a while, I went along for the ride as an interested party. I enjoyed the Close Encounters movie and would watch those shows on the History Channel, with a slowly growing skepticism as they tried hard to come up with new theories about ancient aliens and so on. One abduction story that had always intrigued me, though, was that of Betty and Barney Hill, which I'll link in the video description. They were an interracial couple in the early 1960s, when that was most definitely not a cool thing to be, and I always marveled at why they would bring attention to themselves if that was just a made-up story. It seemed like they would just, incur hatred and ridicule. Moving on to more recent times, I also realized that some of the better UFO videos were rather obviously faked by video and later computer trickery. These days I will usually just assume that it's done by AI and move on. Veracity is a rare commodity in all spheres of life these days, and getting clicks seems to be the almost primal driving force behind a lot of current ufology. In retrospect, it probably always was, but now you have to try and come up with something more outlandish each time to grab people's eyeballs. And then we have the Spielberg Disclosure Day movie, which for some reason has been spoken of in hushed tones, that it's really going to reveal some shit that will blow your mind. Skillful marketing aside, of course I'd like to believe that a Hollywood movie would finally blow the lid off the whole UAP, UFO, aliens among us tropes. It won't. It'll likely be a skillfully made, interesting yarn that the usual suspects will take and reform into supporting whatever their niche beliefs are, and we'll be right back to where we started. So I don't know if it's just the crustiness of old age or the years spent looking at the same blurry photos and videos over decades, but yeah, I'm done with UFOs. Wake me up when they actually land on the White House lawn. Then I'll be interested. So that's another video in the can. If you found this interesting or informative or even funny, give me a like and maybe even subscribe. And remember, be excellent to each other.